It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.
And welcome into the EP Podcast. My name is Chris Lanuti. Two great guests on this show today. Jeannie Olson, Village Trustee, going to be sitting with me in moments. And also from OSF Little Company of Mary, an OBGYN that is going to talk to us about menopause. And I thought to myself when OSF asked me about this, who better than to conduct an interview about menopause than me, right? Yeah, I'm confused as well. Before we get to our first guest, though, I want to tell you the first guest of the show brought to you by Porter Cullen's over at 99th and Clifton Park. They have a couple different events going on right now in February. One of them, Wednesday, February 11th, 6 to 9 p.m., they are doing a Galentine's Sip and Shop. This thing's going to be fun. Lots of vendors there. Go on in, get a drink, do some shopping right before Valentine's Day. And then the game coming up this Sunday. I'm still looking for a place to go see Seahawks Patriots. Well, they're going to have halftime complimentary bites on Porter Cullen's. Like, the bar is still the bar, but there's food at halftime. Like, you know, sometimes you go to a party and there's lots of food. What if you don't have a party? What if there's people that invited you to a party and you don't like them very much? What if you just like to bump into all your neighbors and friends at Porter Cullen's? You can do that on Sunday. You might bump into me at that one. 3541 West 99th Street. See more at portercullens.com. Our first guest, Jeannie Olson, is now on the EP Podcast. And joining me first here on the EP Podcast, she's been on the show before, Jeannie Olson, one of your village trustees. How are you?
I'm great. How are you, Chris?
Good. You're one of my guests that we have followed your entire time as a trustee. I mean, honestly, you were appointed first, correct? And then you went through an election and now you're in your first full term?
First full term.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So
I've seen the rise of Jeannie Olson.
You have, and you had me on before I was a trustee, which I appreciate.
Yes.
I took over when Mayor Burke won her first election because she had 2 years left as trustee, finished that, and then ran 2 years ago, so 2 more years ago.
Do you like it?
I love it. I do.
I always wonder, like, is it a fun thing to do? Because you do go and have village meetings once or twice a month, and you do have public forums, and sometimes things are like, you know, there are people who are unhappy about something. You kind of have to sit there. Like, I don't know. Some people might not like going in front of a bunch of people and listening to that stuff. But, you know, it seems like everybody that comes on here enjoys the work.
I do enjoy it, mainly because you do get to get perspective from everybody in Evergreen. I have my vision, born and raised here, love it. I think everything's perfect. You know, could you change some things? Sure. But it is good to talk to the folks. I get phone calls here and there. Can you help me out with this? Can you help me out with that? Because you know who to call. So it's nice to be able to help people, and it's nice to hear from the people. So I thoroughly enjoy it. I do, and I've met so many people. I love my trustees. They're great to work with too, and of course the mayor. So yeah. I
would say the one thing I want to point out that is so different about Evergreen compared to the area around it, because with the different podcasts that I do, because this isn't the only one I do, I work on the south side. Like, if I'm not in Evergreen, I'm just outside of Evergreen. You guys do a great job with the snow.
Yes.
I mean, the last couple of weeks with the snowfalls, I mean, I know when I'm in Evergreen and when I'm in Oak Lawn, because the road immediately changes when I go into Oak Lawn, or the road immediately changes when I go into the Beverly neighborhood or into Mount Greenwood. Everything changes, and yet somehow Evergreen's able to keep everything clean.
It's amazing. Gavin and his team at Public Works do a fantastic job. I was driving home the other day, and they were in those municipal lots over near Mia Moore.
Yeah.
Just taking truckloads of snow off of the lots, getting it out of the way. They have such a great system. You don't have to worry about the roads when you're in Evergreen.
I mean, it's main roads, it's side streets, it's parking lots, because you have all those municipal parking lots. And like, it'll take days sometimes for some of the other areas to catch up, and you guys are through it right away.
We're on it. They are on it. I don't do anything, but
Jeannie's on it.
I give all my props to Public Works.
Jeannie's in a truck.
Right. Well, it is funny because I work from home, and so I see the trucks going by, with the orange lights, and I'll just kind of turn. And my husband works from home too. And he's like, "Oh, trustee, are you logging it to make sure that they're?" I'm like, "I don't have to log it. They're doing their job. They're good. They're good." So
one of the things going on in Evergreen Park that we haven't touched on yet, and I know that the village is doing a few things here. Local Olympian Abbey Murphy, her first game this week. This show coming out on the 3rd, and I think the first game for Team USA is on the 5th. And this is her second Olympics, but this time around, she's a superstar. I don't know if people have noticed it in their feed, especially my Instagram, like the reels that have been coming up lately, and it's not her posting it. No. But I saw this one play where she's in her Minnesota uniform, and she picks the puck off the ice with her stick, and then bounce passes it through another player's legs, and then re-catches it on the other side, and then skips it across the ice for the assist to the wide open player coming down the other end. And the commentator goes, "This isn't just one of the best women's players in the world. This is one of the best players in the world." And she comes right here from the EP. So I would imagine the village as a whole is excited. We are.
We have some Olympic fever going on here in EP, mainly because of Abbey Murphy and her second return to the Olympics. So as you mentioned, her first game will be on that Friday. So what that means is we're embracing it. Abbey has embraced Evergreen. Evergreen hasn't embraced her. So we're gonna get the town ready. We got some flags going up around the ice rink, of course, at Ukage, at the community center, and at Village Hall. We're gonna put some Olympic flags up honoring our hometown hero. Be sure to check out Abbey Road, 92nd and Ridgeway.
Yeah, it's her block. Her block's got it's named after her.
It's got her name on there. So everyone is very proud, and and she's just this person who's so humble and is so thankful to her friends, and she's always thankful for her family and community. So it's awesome to watch her succeed, and she's killing it. Like, this is her second time being asked to play in the Olympics, and she's earned it.
Oh, she's good.
She's good.
Like, this isn't like somebody who just slipped out of the roster. This is somebody who's really, really talented, and if Team USA goes all the way and wins the gold, she's going to have a big part in it if they do that.
Sure.
And so that's what's exciting to do. I mean, she's been on this show before. We've met Abbey in the Lanuti house several times. My son played hockey for years, and when he was younger, and I think before she made her first Olympics, and she was still, an up-and-coming player, she signed one of her game-used sticks for him that he still has in his room. He's 17 years old. He still has his Abbey Murphy stick. I've got my autographed Team USA jersey that I'll be busting out for the next show. I'll get it out. And I'm hoping that we can get her on here, but I keep trying to explain to people, like, she's the world star now. Like, she's getting interview requests from everyone.
Yeah, not just local, NBC. Yeah,
exactly. And she's been on this show before, and I would hope that we can get her on at some point, but I don't also want to pressure her. Like, I sent her a message. I was like, hey, we're around. When you have time, if you ever want to make a phone call, I'll get up at 2 a.m. and take it from you. Like, it doesn't matter, okay? But, like, she's in the middle of practice, getting ready, and there's a lot on her shoulders. I'm sure at some point we'll hear from her, but the best thing, I think, is that the village, I think, will get behind it again, just like it did 4 years ago. This is going to be a party in multiple bars up and down 95th Street when she's playing.
Yeah, the love back in 2022 was awesome. Now, if you remember, nobody could go watch her play in 2022.
Well, technically.
Well, I mean, in person. Technically. So the bars were pretty packed, and they were like those games.
Oh, yeah, you're right. The bars we could go into.
Could go into.
Okay, now I remember
she
that.
Couldn't actually.
There was also a part where you were technically not allowed to go into bars, but I remember them having people in them. That's what I thought we were talking about.
Right, but we don't want to talk about that. No, I'm just so the bars were super supportive whatever time the games were on, and there was always a big crowd. So it was fun to be a part of. And I'm sure we're going to get the same excitement this year. So.
Yeah, it's a fun thing, and I know her folks are really excited, and her family and her neighbors, and and as you walk around Evergreen, I would think for the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a lot of people wearing her gear. There's a lot of people that will be supporting her, so it's okay to get a little excited about this. I mean, Olympics are fun, but when you've got somebody that's from your town
who is so impressive and such a great down to earth person, absolutely. Let's get behind her.
You're going to hear Evergreen Park a couple times, I think, on a national broadcast. She doesn't say she's from Chicago.
No,
she says she's from Evergreen Park.
Yeah, I love it.
I love that about her. Okay, Flake Fest coming up this weekend.
Yeah, so
I'm going to be there. Next episode, we will have footage from there. But tell everybody about it.
So it's Flake Fest is an annual event. It's basically an open skate So for those who have never been to our skating rink, you can have the opportunity to rent skates for free and to skate for free. They're going to have different folks showing you some ice skating maneuvers and that kind of thing. So if your little guys or girls are getting into hockey and watching Abbey, come on out to Flake Fest. It's a great opportunity to get on the ice. It's 1 to 7 p.m., I believe, on that date, that Saturday.
How nice is it to have that rink? Yeah. Like I we've had them on before, the guys that run it, and they've commented to me, I think on the show, but definitely off air, about how it's grown. And how every year it just seems to get bigger and people really start to discover it. But I mean, it's a beautiful outdoor rink, and they have you don't understand it till you use it. The facilities are pretty nice. They take that field house and that thing's set up. It's indoors. There's snacks. They'll sharpen the skates. They can do the rentals. It's really run well.
It's a legit operation.
Yeah, it's really well. I know, but the thing is, like, I think that sometimes people driving up Kedzie would look to the right or to the left and be like,
Or you walk by when you're going to a softball game in the summer and think, really this is what we're going to turn it into, because it's just a big cement pad during the summer.
Right, you don't realize what it is, but it's a great little section of Evergreen Park, and you see when I'm over there and they're operating, it is definitely being used.
And this year, they started a membership pass. So if you're a family of 4 who would like to skate unlimited for the season, there is an opportunity for a purchase of a $100 pass, and then your family of 4 can skate as much as they want during open skate. And those hours are always posted weekly on the EP Rec Facebook page. So sometimes they have to shut down, like when there's real cold weather. They shut down a couple of Fridays ago, but you go to the Facebook and you'll see... I don't know what rat hockey is, but I see.
Oh, it's just pickup hockey.
Just pickup hockey. Okay.
I always wonder what it was until I had a kid that was playing hockey all the time. It's pickup hockey. Like, you show up and it's like, hey, you want to play a game? And next thing you know, you're out there playing. So
they'll put times for open skate versus rat hockey. And there are a couple programs who are using the rink right now. The Little Blackhawks, it's a little organization that they do for 6 to 9-year-old boys and girls who want to learn hockey. So that is going on right now. So I know there's some times booked with that. But the Facebook page is the best place to find out when you do open skate or rat hockey or whatever else you want to do at the ice rink.
Okay. There's a new event coming in March. I might as well ask you about it.
Sure.
A 5K.
It's a 5K.
Now I have to preface this part of the interview with the fact that I will not be participating
not
in the 5K.
During the 5K. Maybe you'll be there to...
I'm not a runner. I read I want to say I read a study. It might have been done poorly, but it was basically like men shouldn't run because it's bad for them and it hardens the arteries. And I was like, that's enough excuse for me to never run again.
You can always find the research.
Right. So now I don't run. I was able to find a study that said it's bad for men to run. And even if that's true or not true, I've latched onto it and said it's bad for men to run, so I'm not running.
So my thing is, if I'm running, you should be running too, because something's chasing me. I'm not a runner either. But we are embarking on the Leprechaun Leap.
Okay.
And that will be in March. It's a 5K, and it'll be similar to if you've done some other local 5Ks.
You already kind of have a route.
Yes.
It runs around Klein Park.
Comes back to the community center. And then there'll be a little party at the end for St. Patrick's Day.
See, I can do parties.
You can, and that's what I'm saying. Maybe you're not the 5K part, but...
Right. If you need the podcast to be at the party, I can be at the party. Okay. Yeah. I don't know.
I can join you at the party.
Yeah, I can join you at the party.
I am a really good volunteer. I will set up. I will clean up. And
I'm excellent at parties.
So I've heard.
I'm fun at parties. I'm like a professional partier. Like, I'm your guy for a party. Okay. Not running.
Not running.
Partying. That's kind of what I do.
I'll help you out on that.
All right. Well, I mean, it sounds like a full slate of things going on here in Evergreen Park, and
to get us through the winter.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is like that time of year where you're just like, you want to find things to do. Well, but you're also like this past weekend. I was out. I was bouncing around a few places. If you were out on Friday night, you saw me in Evergreen Park. You did not see me on Saturday or Sunday because I was frozen. And I said, I'm staying in.
Yeah. So there is one I do want to mention. For those who do like to walk and it's too cold, The community center over near Circle Park is open Monday, Wednesday, and Friday mornings from 7 to 8 a.m. If you just want to walk the inside to get some exercise, I probably won't see you there at 7 a.m., but it is
That's another thing I don't do. Okay.
Getting up at 7
running
or walking?
At 7 a.m. Okay.
Well, no running.
I gotta
inside.
get kids. I get kids to school, but I'm kind of a zombie as I do it in my pajama bottoms because nobody has to see me get out of the car. But other than that, I'm totally down for parties. Not running.
I'm writing you down for the Leprechaun Leap.
Not 7 a.m.
Yeah, and it is just walking, no running within the community center. But
Right.
it is an option if you're looking to get some steps in.
You guys start doing like a noon walk, you might see me there.
Right.
Noon walk with party stations along the way.
Noon walk.
More of like a bar crawl. When you start doing a noon bar crawl, then I'll do that.
That came to mind. I'm like, noon walk down 95th Street to hit all the bars. That I can get on board with.
It's going to be lively here during Olympic season.
Yes.
Make sure that you get out with your friends, your family, your neighbors, and cheer Abbey Murphy on. And thank you very much to Jeannie Olson for jumping on the EP podcast.
Thanks for having me, Chris.
Building relationships, supporting the community, and service. These are the things that Country Financial stands for. They're more than just an office you may pass by as you drive through Evergreen Park. They're neighbors who lend a helping hand and support the fabric of your community, including charitable organizations, sports, financial education, and civic organizations. And since Country is already your neighbor, they want to get together and chat. Call your local Country Financial representative, Mike Thauer, today at 708-425-1559 to talk about the things that are important to you and how he can help you protect them. It is now time for your EP podcast, Word on the Street, brought to you by Spoken Vine Wine Bar and Bottle Shop, northeast corner of 95th and Kedzie. Incredible array of wines, amazing small plates, great lunch menu. If you haven't checked that out yet, it's one of the best kept secrets in Evergreen Park. I love stopping by there for lunch. And then also they have the wine tasting events. There's food there. It's a great time. Bring out a date, get together with friends, see all the things that they're doing at Spoken Vine Wines. The Evergreen Park Public Library is doing their Sip and Sample fundraiser. It's an annual thing. Spoken Vine will be there along with a lot of local spots here in Evergreen Park and some of them just outside of the EP. It's Saturday, February 28th from 6 to 9:30 p.m., $40 per person. And once the tickets run out, you cannot get in. 21 and over. I've already bought my ticket. It's a blast. There's all kinds of food, there's music, there's all kinds of things to sip. I mean, you've got cocktails, you got wine, there's a lot of times you get beers there from breweries. The lineup is always changing. Get all the details. Sign up while you still have a chance. evergreenparklibrary.org. Otherwise, in Evergreen Park, I have noticed a few different fundraisers going on. District 124 Northwest, their boosters are having a Mustangs Night Out. 90s themed murder mystery dinner, Friday, March 27th from 6 to 9:30 p.m. at Palermo's in Oak Lawn. This goes to help out Northwest boosters. They are right now looking for sponsors. They're looking for donations. And if you're interested in any of that, or if you just want to sign up and go to a murder mystery, which sounds like a lot of fun, NW Booster at d124.org. Check that out. Also, Evergreen Park High School is having an all-alumni reunion. This is also on Saturday, February 28th with a 4-hour open bar and a 4-hour dinner buffet from 5:30 until 9:30. Tickets are $60 up until the 12th of February. Then they become $90 at the door. It's going to be happening at 115 Bourbon Street. For tickets, go to vancoevents.com/US/DMEI. Alumni and guests 21 and over. for that event. As for some Village news, they're hiring a finance director. Evergreen Park, the Village, seeking an experienced municipal finance professional to serve as the finance director, providing strategic leadership and oversight of all financial operations for the Village. For more information, get to the website, evergreenpark-ill.com, and we will see you at Flake Fest. That was mentioned by Jeannie Olson. That is happening on Saturday. So much more going on. You can check all that out at the Village website, evergreenpark-ill.com. On to our second guest. I have to get ready for this interview. Hopefully, I do a good job. This is uncharted territory for me. From OSF, Little Company of Mary. Well, you'll see right here on the EP Podcast. Joining me now in studio on the EP Podcast, we have an OBGYN, Dr. Mikaela Rico. I got that name right, correct?
Yes.
Awesome, because I practiced it so much before we got going. How are you, Doc?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. We're going to talk about something today that is going to be, we've been talking about it already. This is going to be a tough one for me to do. But before we get into menopause, which of course I'm the perfect interviewer for this, right?
You're the expert.
Yeah. Like who else is going to talk about menopause on their podcast if it's not Chris Lanuti? But before we get into that, you are on call right now.
I am.
You have your phone in front of you.
I do.
How many women are expecting today that are in labor that you may have to run off in the middle of this interview and deliver a baby for?
Right now I have two, but you know, anything can happen at any moment of any time.
So before you came over here, like you had to pop your head in and actually tell them, like, don't worry, I'm here when it happens. And then you ran out and came to the studio.
Yep.
And your phone could come up and you have to run back. Okay, we're going to make this quick. Okay. I mean, think about that. You have people who are earlier in life, I would assume at this point, because they're having children. Okay. And this is just the beginning of all of the process, right? This is the beginning of all of it. And you may have a first-time mom. I don't know if one of them is a first-time mom.
There is.
I've had 3 children.
Okay.
And I remember the first time was, oh my goodness, what is happening? Like nervous parents. We probably annoyed everybody on the entire floor, right? Third time, which was 10 years after the first one, I went and got my own water, my own juice. When she needed something, I just did it for her. Nobody had to show me how to change a diaper. The breastfeeding was immediately, like, I mean, you knew what you were doing. You probably see that too. When you see parents that it's not their first time, you're probably like, they know what they're doing, right?
Oh yeah, you can tell who's a first timer and who's not.
All right, well, everybody that gets to this lovely subject that we're going to talk about today, menopause, it's their first time and it's their only time. And from what I know about it, which is very, very little, it is a confusing time. It's something that affects your body, affects your mind. Can you kind of break down for me first, when does it normally start? And what are the first signs that a woman is getting to this point?
Yeah, so I would say that menopause is more of a transition and not a single moment in time.
It's not like they wake up and it's like, boom, menopause.
No.
Okay.
So you kind of have 3 buckets. So you have perimenopause, which is kind of the lead up to it. And, you know, hormones start to fluctuate, periods become irregular, and symptoms may start for some people and for others it doesn't. And this period can last for several years. And then menopause is officially diagnosed when you've gone an entire year, 12 months consecutively without a menstrual cycle. And so that's when menopause is diagnosed.
So before that happens, like there's things that are happening and that's premenopause.
Yes.
So you're going through a lot of changes, a lot of things are happening. And then it's really, you've gone a year. Okay. And then you're like, the baby making factory is closed. Is that essentially how it works? Okay. So and that's when you're diagnosed with menopause.
Yes.
It's not like as it's starting, it's at the end point almost, basically.
Yeah. And so the lead up, you might think like, oh, I'm going to make it a year, and then boom, you have another menstrual cycle, and that cycle restarts. So you have to go a full 12 months. So many women can have very sporadic, irregular menstrual cycles for many years until they achieve the full 12 months consecutive when they can say they are in menopause.
So this is something that for some people it might move very quickly.
And
for some people, this may last years.
For most people, it probably lasts years.
Okay. So then I would imagine the first thing that you run into is frustration.
Yeah.
That has to be, I mean, I would think that is a frustrating thing to go through. That I'm very fortunate that I don't have to go through.
I have yet to go through
miserable.
it, but yes, from the patients that I've taken care of, it's really frustrating. Your body no longer feels like it's your own. You've got a lot of changes happening, and you have no control over them. So yeah, I'm sure it's frustrating.
Yeah. So common things. I mean, I've seen different things that are kind of listed here, but they're everything from the idea that, maybe some sleep issues, mood issues, body changes, but also like the idea that you could have something called brain fog. You suddenly become confused. I mean, trust me, this is not something I would want anybody to get. Like, this sounds awful. So take me through those different things, and what's the most common stuff?
Yeah, so the most common are going to be hot flashes, night sweats, sleep disturbances.
What's a hot flash? What is that? Is that like they just like
you feel like a flush of heat throughout
Really?
your whole body, or some women will start sweating and they'll have these flashes multiple times throughout the day or throughout the night. So of course they're not sleeping well because it's waking them up. They're sweating in their sheets. I can't imagine sleeping like that.
It sounds awful.
Yeah.
I'm going to spend the entire interview saying that sounds awful. Ladies, I'm extremely sympathetic. I just want that to come across in this interview, okay? Because I am so nervous about talking about this. Okay, so this process occurs. Mm-hmm. You're going through this for a while. There's confusion. Is there denial? Are there women that are like, this can't be happening yet, or this is happening too soon, or tell me when this is going to be over because this is getting in the way? Do you run into that?
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, because it's a frustrating process for some patients, and some are lucky and they experience no symptoms. So it's very variable and individualized per person on what they experience. And so I think for the women that are suffering with these symptoms, yeah, they're probably frustrated and like, when is this going to be over? Yeah.
So now when you're going through it, is there something that they can do? Because I mean, that's they got a pill for everything now. I don't know if you've noticed that, Doc. And then when you take the pill, the side effects include death and like everything. I mean, like, have you seen these pills now? Mm-hmm. Do you laugh at the commercials the way that I laugh at the commercials? I laugh at these commercials. Like my kids and I are watching something and it's like, take this thing. It'll make you happy. And it may also make you jump off a bridge. And like,
And then the small print at the bottom of the commercial.
When you read the small print, you're like, I'm not taking that. That sounds awful. Yeah. So is there a pill that comes with a bunch of small print, or are there methods, are there ways to either mitigate or lessen some of the more frustrating, painful, awful things?
Yeah, so I would say it depends on which symptoms patients are experiencing, and then there's various treatment depending on the symptoms. So it's really important to talk with the doctor about what's affecting your quality of life most often, because then we can tailor that treatment for you. So for instance, for hot flashes, the best treatment is hormone replacement therapy. There are also non-hormonal FDA-approved options as well, but they may not work as well for your symptoms, whereas other symptoms of menopause can include vaginal dryness. And so for that, there's vaginal estrogen cream, which is not systemic hormone replacement therapy, but can make a difference for women experiencing those symptoms.
And so it's a case-by-case basis.
Definitely.
So the best thing is to talk with an OBGYN, talk with their regular doctor. Like I'm sure you want them to all come and talk with you, but like that's the other thing I always find confusing. Like I find that in my own life. Is it time to see a specialist? Is it time to see my regular doctor? I mean, I have had several general practitioners in my life. I had one of them that used to look at me and go, "You're just getting old. Don't worry about it." And that was terrible advice, when in reality, like the next person I went to was like, there's things we can do. Yeah. So it does depend on the type of doctor as well. So who do you want them to go see?
I would say an OBGYN is a great place to start.
Okay.
I'm sure there are many wonderful primary care doctors that are also comfortable managing menopause, but I think this falls more in the OBGYN realm, and we're happy to help. We want to listen. So when you see your OBGYN for your routine pap smear and your mammogram and your yearly annual Well Woman's exams, these are great times to bring up these symptoms.
Are there things that you notice sometimes as a doctor that they may not have noticed? Like somebody comes in, they're of the age, and they're not even thinking that this is happening. And you're like, hey, guess what? Like kind of like how my eye doctor looked at me the other day and he goes, "You need readers." And I was like, "No, I don't. I'm fine." He goes, "No, you're not." And so like I had to accept that, but he noticed it before I wanted to notice it. Do you run into that?
Well, some of the ways we can notice is when we're doing our vaginal exam, if the tissue looks atrophic, which shows a sign of low estrogen, we may ask, do you have pain? Do you have itching? So we'll ask symptoms, and that's kind of how
there's
we can
physical
gauge.
things that you see if people are taking regular exams.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Exactly.
Okay, well, that makes an awful lot of sense. So now this happens. As it's happening, I would imagine you get the question, how does this end? And what happens next? Like, what is the long-term effect on me? I would imagine that's asked at some point. I mean, do you know, is it the same for everybody? Is it different for people? Like, I mean, I last year I went out with a woman who had already had it. And she told me, she's like, I'm actually in the best shape of my life and I've got more energy. And I was like, that's not normal. And she's like, my doctor says it's not normal either. So, I mean, like, it's not the same for everybody. But like, what do you tell them is happening long term?
So long term, we know with low estrogen that we decrease our bone mass, which is why we recommend patients increase their strength training to help decrease their long-term risk of osteoporosis. It can affect their mood, and so we like to check in to see how they're feeling, assess if they need any antidepressants or counseling services. And so there's a lot of things that, long term. And in terms of treatment, patients don't need treatment lifelong. We kind of reassess how they're doing and we can slowly taper down medications. And if they're no longer having symptoms, then they no longer need treatment. But again, that's very individualized. Some patients want to stay on hormones and need to stay on hormones for many, many years, while other patients only may need it for, a couple of months to a year or two, and then they no longer need treatment.
One of the phrases that I heard even growing up, and I don't know if it's a bad term or not, but I've heard women use it. I've heard men use it when they describe women that are going through menopause as the change. Mm-hmm. They're going through the change. And I would think to myself, that would scare the heck out of me if somebody was like, oh gosh, one day you're going to go through the change. Mm-hmm. How big of a change is it? Like, I mean, I'm sure you've talked with women before, during, and after it. So you kind of, even though you haven't gone through it, you've as an OBGYN, you've talked to, like, is it something where it's like, okay, my life is going to be different forever. I'm going to think differently. I'm going to feel differently. I'm going to interact with people differently. Or is the change something where, okay, physically some things have changed with me, but I'm still going to be the same person coming out of it? Because I think that's a concern that I've heard from people before, is that I'm worried emotionally or mentally, like I'm just going to be a different person afterwards. And that's what the fear is. What do you see?
So I think it really depends on which symptoms they're experiencing, to what severity, and for how long, because that will depend on how you're feeling and how you're responding. And so for patients that don't have hot flashes, they're not having sleep disturbances, maybe their libido did not decrease, they're not seeing the weight gain, they're going to feel great. They're going to feel no difference. But for the other patients that are having, 10 to 20 hot flashes a day, they can't get any good sleep, they feel like their hair is falling out, they're gaining weight even though they're working out and trying to have a healthy diet, they're going to be frustrated. So they are still the same person, but they may feel different because they have no control over these changes that are happening to them.
It's the getting old thing. Like, I mean, I can't relate to this. This is a massive change. This is very different from what I'm going through or going to go through as I get older. But it's the getting old thing. It's the worst. It's the worst, because you're so smart when you're older. You are. You're just like, I got it all figured out. And now my body's going to change, which has got to be, again, that's got to add to the frustration. You're over at Little Company at the medical center here in Evergreen Park, right?
Yes, I am.
Is it a clinic that's like a side building, or where exactly would somebody find you?
Yeah, so I'm attached to the Evergreen Park Clinic, attached to the hospital at Little Company of Mary. And then I also work at the Halstead Clinic, which is on 95th as well. And then we also have an Oaklawn Clinic. I don't work there, but our whole group practices out of one of those three clinics.
All right, so then if somebody says they like you on the show, they're like, she looks friendly, she'll take care of me, I would like to talk with her, I have a phone number here for your office I looked up because I wanted to make sure that we had it. The one in Evergreen Park, 708-636-9205. 708-636-9205 is at 2850 West 95th Street in suite number 301. And it's you and a team?
Yes.
Okay, so it's not just you.
No, not just me. Not just me at all. No,
so, because
no.
there's probably more than two women that are ready to have a baby in that hospital. You just have two right now that you're waiting on
right now at this moment. Yeah, no, there's 7 OBGYNs that are part of our OSF medical group for OBGYN.
All right. Well, this is really informative, and I want to thank you, because I was worried about this one. I was like, and I tried to keep it light, and I probably still said something terrible that somebody's going to write me like, you should have said that. And I'm like, I tried my hardest on this one. I hope I didn't embarrass myself too much. Back to these lucky women who are getting ready to bring life into the world today. Is that the best thing that you do? I'm curious, at OBGYN, I mean, like, think of all the different things that you do. Think of what we talked about today.
Yeah.
Think about the fact that you're dealing with young women. I have a daughter who's 20 years old, and I remember what it was like when she finally got to all that part where she had to start going to the OBGYN and learning about her body and stuff like that. Is this the best part, the babies?
You know, I really love my job, all of the parts, whether it's bringing life into the world, which is such a privilege to be part of someone's lifelong moment. Like, who forgets about their delivery? No one. So I'm a part of many people's life stories. And then also, I enjoy just as much talking about someone and helping them through menopause or irregular periods. So lots of things.
So it's everything.
Everything.
You're not going to pin down a favorite.
Nope.
I can't get any answer out of you.
Can't. No.
All right. Well,
I love it all.
That's awesome. Good for you. Thank you so much for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's the EP Podcast. All things Evergreen Park. It's the EP Podcast. Evergreen Park.